Hello and welcome to Records Rebuild. So we're going to get started on the Salvage Suburban. We've taken a few parts off here, but it's mostly still there. So the first things to do are we've got to get this bad core support out of the way, and we've got to get this fender off here so that we can open and close the door without having any problems. You ready, John? Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is remove the passenger side headlight. It looks really good here. It's still nice and shiny and new, but it's got a hole in it and it's got a bunch of tabs busted off, and there's one particular attaching point where the grill attaches to the headlight that I don't have any of the remaining pieces of it, so we'll see if we'll be able to save this headlight or not. Then we'll go ahead and pull the mangled remains of the grill support bar and the horn out of there. Okay, so now there's just a bunch of little wiring harnesses, connectors, and that's actually the shattered remnants of the active aero grill there that I'm clearing out of the way. We'll just gently slip the top half of the radiator shroud out of there. Then we'll pull the support brackets at the top of the radiator that hold it rigid in hopes of getting a little more wiggle room so that we can get a chain in there and start to pull it out. Then we'll pull some more wiring harnesses and pull the crossbars that keep that core support rigid out of there so that we can put them onto the new core support later. Okay, so unfortunately the audio for this section got completely deleted, but you can see we've got a big chain that we've wrapped around this pillar here, and we've got a come along that is going to allow us to winch off of the trailer hitch of my dad's 2000 model Chevy Silverado, and we're going to use that to pull this piece out. So the whole point of this exercise, even though we're going to cut this part out, we want to pull it as close back to normal as we can because it's going to help bend the rest of the parts around it a little closer back to where we need them to be so that we can weld the new core support in. Okay, so it goes without saying this is obviously a pretty dangerous thing to do, so don't try this at home. But we did pull on it with the come along of the chain and tap it a little bit with a hammer, and that did move our pillar significantly back towards where we roughly wanted it to be. So it worked. Then we released the pressure a few different times, moved the chain so we could attack it from a different angle and pulled from a new angle, which really gave us a pretty good result. So I did a pretty bad job of filming this, but we actually moved the chain to the lower middle of the core support, and we were able to pull that dent out pretty good. We started with the come along at first, but then we figured out it actually went a little easier if just tug gently by putting the Suburban in reverse and pull that dent out in that way. So it turns out the way to get this driver's side fender off of here is actually to detach the front portion of the rocker panel, and then you can get to the bolts that'll let you take the fender out. So when you finally get ready to take the fender off, it's actually got a triangular shaped piece of foam in there that has been glued to the body support and to the fender. So you take all the bolts off, and then you still have to rip the thing off.
Okay, so now the fender is off. We've just got to take this core support out. We've got to pull this body brace this way just a little bit. We've got to replace the frame rails down there, but we're one step closer. We've pulled a lot of this out to make sure that we try and reverse the damage as much as possible, kind of bend things back in the right direction. So, thanks for watching, guys. We'll get more done next time.